Welcome once again to the Ben Smith Coaches Show here on the Barrett Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Today, talking Bradley Wrestling, and brother, we got a lot of stuff coming up here in the next few days, and we're going to talk about that. But we always like to start, Coach. Introduce the young man you brought with you today.
Sure. Yes. So I've got team captain, number 2 ranked. Yes. Number 2 ranked in the state, defending state third place medalist, Ethan Lipsy. He is the younger, not the littler, but the younger brother of also defending state medalist. Is he ranked second as well?
He's third.
He's ranked third ranked Easton. So I've got the Lipsy brothers, Mom and Dad, Don, and Pastor Don and Pastor Lipsy from South Cleveland Church of God. So big family in the community, and Ethan he's been wrestling for a minute. Started in some combatives before that, and he is he's worked himself into. I don't normally have juniors as team captains, but I couldn't deny he nor Bryson, and so. Yeah, man, we're hoping to hang 4 or 5 state championship banners this year with him being one of them. So.
Well, I hope you're right there. Ethan, it's obviously a credit to you, your personality, your character, your integrity to be named captain, especially as a junior. It doesn't happen very often here in the wrestling program there. How long have you been wrestling? What's your background there?
I started in 6th grade with Coach Insmere, and then when I lived in Texas, I did like jiu-jitsu, which is kind of like MMA kind of thing, which is like a little background into it, so kind of fed right into it.
So your brother wrestles too?
He does. He's a senior.
Do you wrestle each other? I mean, just, you know.
Yeah, time to time. It gets a little heated, but
What weight class is he?
He's just sitting down to 26, but he's at 132 right now.
132, and you're 138 there. I bet you have some about now. Easton had a little dental work done earlier this week.
Yeah.
Is he going to be ready to wrestle tomorrow night?
Who's this?
Easton.
Yeah, he'll be good.
And
What do you have?
Root
He had a root
canal
canal yesterday.
Monday.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You ought to come to these shows more often, Coach. We'll keep you caught up.
How
on
did
your
I not
things.
know that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. So, wow.
But he's probably okay. You know.
Usually I'm the last one to know. So,
Okay, well,
yeah.
glad
We talked about that at practice yesterday. Yeah.
We're glad to let you know today.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Learn all kind of things at our shows here.
that's a testament to Easton's. I mean, Easton is tough. I mean, he's corncob tough, and the fact that I didn't notice that is pretty tough.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty tough.
What's the hardest thing? What's the toughest thing about being a Bear in a wrestling program here?
I'd say the practices. Practices are pretty good. Good sweat, but that's what you love. That's how you get better.
Well, on a good team like Bradley's program, then you know you're going to wrestle somebody that's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Because if it's your weight class, this guy's trying to take your position away from you for one thing too.
It's always hard to get in line.
It's one of the coaches always says, "Iron sharpens iron," you know, and it does good to have someone that competitive, especially with you got a brother now. So yours a year's 2 difference there. He's
Either weight classes.
No, he's a senior.
no, your year.
Oh, yeah,
class
he's senior.
range.
I'm a
I
junior.
think they're 14, 15 months apart.
Yeah, 15.
15 months apart. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you got a wrestling family there, a wrestling tradition, all that. Very supportive there. Coach, a lot going on. A lot went on. We didn't have a lot going on since our last program.
Yes.
But boy.
Yeah.
Start with what's got coming up here just with Thursday, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, so we've been kind of resting and recovering. One of the few things I've done well leading up to this season was scheduling kind of a buffer week last week. I mean, it's only taken me 11 years to figure it out, but it's always, the week prior to Region Duels, I'm always sitting there going, man, I don't want to travel here. I don't want to travel here. Like, we need to practice. And last time that we were on the show together, we had, of 12 competitive days, Sundays being excluded, we had been competing 8 of those 12. We had 4 days of practice in 14 days. Wow. And like Ethan was saying, and I go back to when I wrestled here, like our practices a lot of times are tougher than, and not tougher than our competition as far as person to person. In his case, we've got great practice. We got a great practice room for kids his size. But I mean, just the intensity level, the 2-hour window of work is pretty intense. So we're coming off of that. Our girls competed at the Region Duels last weekend. It was our first shot at it. We had one of our best girls out in Brianna Pontes, but we fell short to St. Andrew Swanee's 24-18, and that was with the girl out. So we fell a match away from qualifying for the state duels there. While we were there, I had our backup squad at the Saudi Showdown varsity, and then I had our JV freshmen at the Saudi JV Showdown. So these guys had a nice day off. They practiced and conditioned that morning, but me and Coach Anglin ran practice, but me and Coach Matthews and Coach Blackman, we took a crew up to Saudi, and it was a nice day just to go kind of sharpen you know, and I don't want to say it's difficult for me to say because of Saudi's tradition, but they're small school now. But it was nice to go to have kind of a buffer tournament. But this week we're getting ready for the region duels tomorrow. I just looked at the results. I believe Walker Valley did beat Ray County last night, so we'll wrestle Walker Valley in the first round. They're district champs. We're district runner-ups to Cleveland. We'll wrestle them. And then
that'll be where?
That'll be at Ottawa, weigh in at 5, wrestle at 6.
Okay.
The finals will be immediately afterwards. So we plan on winning and we plan on wrestling in the finals. And the finals will be wrestled. It's in our bylaws that we have to wrestle that finals match. And we want to wrestle that finals match. We hope that we do what we can do against Cleveland, or I'm sorry, against Walker. And we have been looking forward for a couple weeks. All the work that we've been doing up till now has been leading to, I don't want to say the state finals, I want to say the region finals, because that's got huge implications for us. So then we'll follow that up. We had to reschedule the Walker Valley match. That'll be Friday. Be senior night.
And that'll be here.
That'll be here. Be senior night. And we're also going to we're going to retire our first singlet ever.
Really?
Yep. So we're going to retire Coach Logsden's singlet that night. He just got inducted into the Tennessee chapter of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. So we'll be pulling the cloak and dropping, you know, like you guys did with Ryan Howard.
Right.
We'll be honoring our seniors, and then just briefly, we don't want to take away from our seniors. We were going to do this on the Science Hill home match, but that got canceled because they decided not to show. Sorry, Coach Miller. But I'm going to honor. We are going to honor Coach Logsden very briefly. Drop the cord, see the singlet. We've got actually custom-made singlets, tribute singlets for Coach Logsden. We're going to wrestle in those tomorrow night. Friday night. And then, depending on what we do, we've got a sectional round or a sub-state round, I think is what baseball or basketball calls it. So it'll either be hosted here Saturday night if we win, when that's what we're hoping for, following our JV tournament, or we'll travel to Blackman or Oakland is what we're kind of projecting if we don't win. So
that's through the sectionals this Saturday.
Yeah, the only way you qualify for the state tournament. That's false. Each region runner-up has a chance to wrestle the region champion from an opposing region. Right. You know how that stuff works. Right. So, but chances are, if you win your region, you're probably going to the state tournament. So, but us or Cleveland's going to be a tough runner-up draw for somebody.
Yeah, it certainly will be there.
Yeah.
The championship runs through this county, as they always say.
That's what they say.
It's been for many, many years there. Mm-hmm. In regard to your assistant coaches, I know you've got several assistant coaches. Mm-hmm. Do you hand out certain different assignments? You have, like Coach Blackman, who's a good-sized guy. Does he work in particular with the whole team, or do you let him work with?
Coach Blackman, I'd say if it was sitting right here, I wish he'd wrestle a little bit more. My wrestling days are kind of behind me. They're few and far between. I like drilling and playing, and I'm more of a fitness guy. I need to be able to go home and play with my play with my daughters. I mean, like I said last time I was here, I wrestled with him and a couple guys before the Brentwood tournament. And, man, I felt great, but it's the next 2 or 3 days where the numbness in the hands and the toes and getting up. And I don't feel 40, almost 41, until a day or two after I wrestle. But Coach Blackman is he's going to be the next head coach at some point. And so I'm kind of grooming him like Coach Logsden groomed me. And then you got a guy like Austin Matthews that will eventually be a head coach for this program at some point too. So you've kind of got the next two in line here, and those guys can do anything and everything. And so, sometimes I feel like I've given up too much responsibility because I don't delegate well, but I've done a pretty good job of delegating and like backing up.
But you got guys can do it though.
But it's like you saw, like these. I didn't even know he had a root canal. Now I stay pretty hidden during the day. You got to look hard. I mean, you don't.
Believe me, we know that.
You got to travel the right circle. But Coach Blackman and Coach Angle being classroom teachers, they're a little bit more accessible. But Coach Anglin handles the stuff that I don't like doing anymore. I don't like putting weights in. I don't like doing weight descent. I don't like going to buying concession stand stuff. Like, I don't like doing that stuff. He handles that, but then there's also, like, he runs our tournament. Coach Blackman is in charge of our golf tournament. But then, like one day, maybe 2 days a week, I have Coach Blackman run a practice. It's usually Thursday because I go to church on Wednesday nights and I don't want to come home late and plan practice. And it gives him a day to see things, to apply the things that he's not seen. And then Coach Matthews, he's kind of catching. He's low man on the totem pole.
Everything nobody else wants to do.
I ain't unloading singlets and I ain't washing singlets. I will if I have to, but he's kind of me in my 20s.
Yeah.
He's the great young assistant that is he's a valuable asset. But I don't have as many assistants as I used to. I think I finally ran them all off because I can only pay 2 of them. So I think some of them finally, career change and life change. They just left. But yeah, I've got wonderful assistants. There's no way that we could do everything that we do. With just the 3 of us. So, we're blessed. And that's something that we focused on. We want to have a program that people want to be around. And that's why we've got 55, 60 kids. And as Coach Jackson says, we've got an army of coaches. So I'm proud of that.
Well, talking about the postseason now, we'll have the regional here or at Uwall Thursday. If you win there, you're going to be in a sub-state. If you win there, you're going to advance state. When would the state start? And where would it
It's
be?
one day it's the 5th, next Saturday, and it's at Williamson County Ag and Expo Center, or as we call the Cow Palace.
And that's the Duels?
It's the Duels, and then we'll roll into the region individual, where hopefully he'll win another region title at Walker Valley. That'll be on the 12th, and then we'll have a sectional round now. They've taken our 32-man bracket and bumped it down to a 16. They've combined us with Region 4, which is not good. For their region or ours. It's not good for
Because it's the strength of the...
You look at region, like outside of, you take Murfreesboro and Chattanooga and you combine them, man.
Somebody else have a chance?
It's bad. You're going to have kids in the state tournament in a 16-man. Like, the idea is to have the best 16 kids in the state tournament.
Right.
Well, you could wrestle the 8-man bracket. You could take the 8-man bracket at the sectionals in some weight classes and probably pull out the real top 6.
Wow.
It's going to be.
So there's going to be some good guys fall over the wayside.
If I'm
Good
Wilson
teams.
Central sitting up in Region 7 watching us, Blackman, Oakland, and Cleveland knock each other off, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
If I'm Maryville up in Region 2 going, let those guys deal with it. Our sectional is going to be worth the price of admission. We're going to have kids that don't qualify for the state tournament that should be on the podium.
So what you're saying is basically that is going to be a state tournament, really?
I think it's a mini state tournament.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't think TWSAA did. I don't think they made the right call there. So.
Let's talk about the girls' side now. How about when will they do their thing?
So they've got one more tune-up competition this weekend. Our girls got COVID. The fact that we even competed at the region tournament was a success for us. Yeah. They got sick following the weekend of the Cleveland match. They went to the Franklin Open, and man, they came back sick. And I had 2 girls that didn't get released until a day before and the day of. Wow. But they wanted to go, and it's like you got to have 6. We had 6. Our second best girl was out. So they're going to go tune up one more time this weekend, and then we're going to shut them down and put them in a peaking cycle, let them recover, get healthy. And then their region will be the same week as our region, if I remember. I think it's the 12th. They don't have a sectional. And then we'll be side by side. I think it's the 24th, 25th, and 26th at Williamson County Ag and Expo. They're going to do a 16-man tournament in 3 days when we do a 40-man bracket in 2 days here at the Invitational. So, again, I don't think TWSAA made the right call there, but it is what it is.
Well,
nobody asked me, so.
I hear you there. Just deal with it, I guess. But,
right.
Well, Coach, we're going to wrap things up here
Sure.
again. A great coaching show again. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy
Sure.
schedule. Got a lot on your plate right now to work on, starting with tomorrow night's region. Ethan Lipsey, thank you. Good luck. Keep it up. Bring that state title back here, when you can. And Easton, hopefully Easton's good to go there too. So,
I never knew he had a root canal, so apparently he's fine. So,
apparently he is.
Yeah, apparently that's a testament to his toughness. I'm telling you, he's like TJ Hicks. He kind of reminds me of maybe what I was like to coach at times, but he's doing well. So I appreciate you letting me have time. We didn't have to meet this week, but I wanted to bring an athlete on, and I've been trying to get Ethan on for a while, and man, what a great opportunity to brag on these guys and brag on the kids a little bit. So I appreciate you having us.
Glad to promote Bradley Central Wrestling anytime we can here. Thanks again to Mr. Wynn Schroyer and his broadcast crew here at Bradley Central High School Studio. H12, we call it back here in the studio. Until next time, good luck to all the wrestlers, boys, girls, and everybody else here at Bradley Central. God bless and go Bears.